Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. My name's Shane and welcome to Klesh Guitars. Today I'm up here in North Dakota. My friend Jared here, he invited me up, and your father-in-law, right?
Yeah, Richard.
He owns like 5 square miles of land and there's like 40 properties on it. Like,
well, I know where there's a couple old schoolhouses and a couple other places up here. We're at an old grain silo right now.
Yeah, we're gonna swing the detector around here. Also, his family has like a box of like, what is it?
It's a box with some guns and some gold that my wife's uncle buried for the Y2K that has never been recovered. So.
And it's still underground.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be opening that tomorrow. And unfortunately, I have appointments at the VA tomorrow and I have to leave tonight. It's like a 12-hour drive back. But that would be maybe some other time, or
I could maybe get it for you on video, you know.
That would be cool. If you can have some video of that, I'll put it here in the video somewhere and you can see what's actually in there. So we're gonna take the metal detectors, we're gonna swing around this property. Right over here, I'll swing the camera around. There's like right in these trees here, there's actually a collapsed house with a cellar hole and everything. So we're gonna swing around here a little bit in the high grass. And then we're also gonna go over to another area that has more properties and stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. All right, so the gear we're using today, I have the Minelab Equinox 800 metal detector with the Profine 35 pinpointer and the Samson T-handle shovel. And Jared is using the Garrett AT Pro with his Pro Pointer, what is it, Pro Pointer 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pro Pointer 2. And I don't know the name of his shovel, but yeah, it's a little metal detecting shovel.
That is a no-name, I believe.
That is a no-name. I think we're gonna start detecting around this grain silo, and if we get any targets, I'll show you. All right, we're gonna take a look around inside the grain silo. He said it's safe to go in there, but we have to watch out for giant raccoons.
And nails.
So most of these buildings were most likely built around 1900, 1910, somewhere in that area. Oh yeah, here's the wooden.
Yeah, you can see how this lever would open up the chute, and the grain stored upstairs would come down the chute, and they would have another little chute that would come into a wagon in this little bay right here. That's why this bay is so small. You couldn't fit a gas-powered vehicle through here. It's made to pull a buckboard wagon through here.
Yep.
And load out grain.
Absolutely.
Here's the lifting hook for grappling large bags of grain out of the wagons and stuff like that. Yeah, even this though is the old fabric wrapped wire.
Yep, from the 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, they just had these several different small rooms that they would store the grain in. This is the door that you would empty the lower room through. If you lifted that up, it would come out, and some poor guy had to shovel it up into bags and lift it into a wagon.
If we're gonna find anything like silver coins or anything, it's probably gonna be in those high weeds. But we're not gonna stay too long, because swinging through high weeds, as you guys know, is probably one of the worst times that you can have, especially when it's 96 degrees out and 96% humidity. But he has Jared has another property with like some nice flat area. We'll check that out too then.
I don't know if this is too dim for you to get.
Let's see.
It would take pencils and they would write down how many pounds the guy was getting, and this is where they would actually tabulate the bill. I don't know how they would erase it after time, but if you look here, these ones are scratched into the wall. It has, I think, some guy's name at the top that's illegible now, but these are all hash marks of how many sacks of grain I would assume that this one farmer brought in that year. These ones are all done in pencil. Look at there's...
Yep, I can see the names.
Schlecht. There's a Schlecht that still lives 3 miles up the road. Brian Schlecht still lives right up there. And I got way above this bin right here, this angled part. And I got about 15, 20 feet up the ladder, and I looked down and there was a 30-pound raccoon in there that hissed at me. Boy, I came down that ladder like you wouldn't believe.
I bet. All right, so we're finding plenty of targets. I mean, it's non-stop. I'll show you my first target of interest. Bullet casing.
That might be for me, actually.
It's pretty old.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's pretty old. Cool. It's pretty much constant targets up here. Let me show you what I mean. It's everywhere you swing. Targets all over the place. Some of them sound good. So we're just gonna dig a lot. So here at the first location, we found a few, like a carriage bolt, some other things here, little nails, no square head nails, but these are still pretty old, you know, 1900s, early 1900s. Cap cover right there for the center of a wheel. Some more small screws and stuff. Can slaw, of course, you know, sorry for the wind, guys, but it is North Dakota. Old Milwaukee can, probably from the mid 60s. Can't tell what kind of top it is, but that's a steel can. Modern Schlitz can. It's the end of a leaf spring for a small carriage right there. It's not a file. You can see the hole right there. Here we got some interesting things. A shoe horn. Look at this. An old spoon head. Look at that. A couple bullet casings. This is an old valve right there. And we think this might be like the base of a glass lamp. Like you would set the glass down and it would go on here. It even has holes and stuff around it. I'm not really sure, but we think that's probably from like a lamp or a lantern or something. So that first spot was pretty interesting. We still have more places to go, so I'll keep you updated. All right, again, I apologize for the wind, but we are up here in the middle of a field. There's an old home site that used to be right here. There's a knockdown windmill. Find something? Oh, an old flashlight.
Just like the ones we were just looking at.
At your house?
Yeah.
Yeah, the old style flashlight. Look at that. That's awesome. That's a great find.
Yeah, it is. That's pretty cool.
We also found this, you know, I found a piece of barbed wire and this, I'm not really even sure what that is.
You want to move on? We'll go look at that other old house.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
All right, so this old home site here where they actually took the house and moved it back in 1955. It wasn't collapsed, it wasn't burned or anything. They just actually moved the house. So we decided to come up here. Again, it's pretty high grass and the wind is pretty high, so I apologize if you can't hear me, but here's what we found. We actually found some pretty cool stuff here. That's all the carbon from the inside battery core right there. A couple mason jar lids. This one has the porcelain in it. Unfortunately, it's broke. I didn't break this one. This one was actually broken before while it was underground. This is another old lantern, a lamp. That's a bigger one, kind of like the one we found before, but this is the giant size. Or the other one was just a baby size. Now this thing here, somebody's going to be able to identify that.
I know what it is.
What is it?
This is, when a door would shut, that's what pushes in and closes and then latches into the hole.
This is what would, when you turn the knob.
Yeah, and like right there's where the shaft for the knob would go through.
Yeah.
I just realized it when I saw that end.
That's what it is.
But boy, I've never seen one that looked like that before. That's old.
It's a weird looking piece. It's like brass too.
Yeah.
He found that. He said it was ringing up really good. So I could imagine. That's cool. Looks like an old like alien tuning fork or.
That's what I thought when I saw it. I was like, it looks like a tuning fork. And then there was one little old piece of unglazed pottery, and I think that's from a thresher.
Yep. And then again, you know, a bunch of nails. Most of these weren't the target. They're just what you find when you're pinpointing, and it's like, oh, I got a nail. That's not the real target, though. You know. And then an old bearing. Flattened. That's pretty cool. I thought that was neat. I thought it was really, like, it looks kind of like a strange alien thing when it's flattened. You don't see them like that normally. But yeah, that's our finds for this field. We still have at least one more home site to go. So let's go check it out. I don't know if you could tell, there's a car back in here.
I believe this is an old Buick because it's got these little vents on the front fender. Geez, one of these thorns just went through the bottom of my shoe.
Ow.
These guys?
Oh man.
So watch where you're stepping. It didn't get me, but this is an old underdash heater. There was your switch it on and there was your temp control.
Look at that thing.
And you'd plumb your water right into the back of it. And there's your little vent that would blow on you. You'd hang that right under your dash. Oh yeah, there's the little blower motor in there.
Yeah. Man.
Actually, that looks like it has a burner in it. This is like a little, yeah, that's like a thermocouple. It's a burner. This is like a little probe something for in a car. God, that sounds dangerous. Oh, look at that steering wheel. That is cool.
That's real cool.
I got to come back and get that steering wheel.
Everybody wants me to, oh, here we go.
Dynaflow. That means it had an automatic transmission.
Automatic transmission, Dynaflow. Let's see if there's a few more steering wheels in the back for the back seat driver. That's a Ford steering wheel. These trees are all wild plums here. They're everywhere. So we're at the third home site, or fourth home site. And again, old 1930s and 40s cars. Two truck cabs over there. I was digging around in the cellar hole and found an old cathode ray tube and a waffle eye. And
it's got a leaf waffle in it.
Yeah, and that doorknob is probably the most interesting. Look at this thing. It's got the clay doorknob. And this is all like real fancy. Let me see if I can get that on camera. Check that out. That was down in the pit here. But as you can see, it's, you know, concrete blocks, probably from the 30s or 40s, maybe 50s. This old deep freezer down here, that plate on it says 1953. And then up above, there's a bunch of like refrigerators and shelves. And this refrigerator here, this fridge has been sitting here for so long that the tree actually grew around it. We're in the middle of a plowed field. Right up here there was a home site, and he knows because he found the bricks. And then over here he found big pieces of iron, so that's probably where the barn and stuff was. So we're gonna swing around here for a while.
Here's a really cool one. Like, that's from a cork bottle, but it's this light purple color.
Look at how thick that piece of glass is.
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
And this was all found here at this home site?
Yeah, I just picked this up like 2 days ago. And pottery jugs. I mean, some really nice thick chunks of pottery.
Yeah, man. That's real promising for this area. So, yeah, we'll swing around. If we find anything, I'll show you. Oh, wow.
So yeah, this is pretty saturated with iron.
Something there.
The occasional clean
of iron.
Probably. It's a plow point.
There we have a big plow point. So Jared over there already found a whole bunch of big pieces of iron and everything. And I was messing around with the drone and everything, and I finally got a decent target right here. Let's see what it is. Of course, there's a giant nail, but we know that's not the target. There's lots of targets here. Look at that. That's what the target was. Some kind of a fitting right there. All right, so I got a signal, and I think I got our first coin. I just saw it come out of the hole. It is a piece of metal. Let's see what it is. That's not a coin. What is that? That might be a button. Hold on, let's go bring this over to Jared. Maybe he can identify this thing.
It's like a pressed brass curled around the edge, you know?
Yep.
You can see it flaking off this little thin edge right there.
Yep.
So I would bet money there's a little bit of iron staining. I'll bet that is just the iron is corroded out of it.
All right, well, officially we're calling this the Big Iron Field. We found a lot of stuff, man. We were finding targets every 5 seconds. That piece right there is interesting, that copper thing.
Something that went on a chest, and that's what the strap came off of, maybe. You know, those old chests had the leather straps holding them on.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, not a hinge, but like a fancy decorative thing on a piece of furniture or something.
An escutcheon or something like that.
Yep. Yep, here it is.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
This is probably the coolest. I mean, as far as things that I'm interested in, like something that, you know, people have actually handled and used, I think this button here is probably the coolest thing. That's kind of proof that there was a home site here, and all that glass and everything. Other than that, it's mostly just big iron. Tractor parts, farm machinery parts. This is really cool. It's a one-way gear. Oh yeah, there's what's that horseshoe? There was a horseshoe too. Oh, it's right here.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, we also found a small, pretty unused horseshoe. They're bent down like this so that the horse can dig in and work in the fields, but that's a broken horseshoe.
That one's got low miles on it.
Yeah, you can see it's still sharp.
We think that we figured that this is a busted in half sledgehammer.
An old one.
Because you can see the dish on it from where the guy was pounding on stuff. And he just hit it too hard one day and it cracked where it had these inclusions in the cast.
Yeah.
There was a big pocket inside the cast.
It's real heavy. What else could it be?
Yeah. I mean, I have a sledgehammer like this in my garage.
Yeah.
You know, it says 15 on the side or something like that.
If you need a crowbar or a pry bar, just go to Big Iron Field and you'll be good to go. All right, we have like one more home site to go, and then we're gonna call it. We got a bucket full of stuff, man. So far, we got to get a coin though. All right, so we're at Pete's house. This is the final place we're gonna be checking out today. The 5th or 6th or 7th homestead we're at today. There's an old windmill in the front. Over here by the bees, there's some nice, they do cut the grass by these bees to get the beehives in there. So we're probably gonna consolidate our metal detecting just to that area, but we are gonna go through the Pete's house here. As you can see, it's, you know, obviously abandoned for what, how many years?
1972.
Since 1972. So Pete actually died on the porch. He was dead there for 2 weeks, and he was found 2 weeks later. And yeah, nobody lived in it since. So we're gonna go into this house here, and it looks pretty creepy to me, but it'll be pretty cool.
You get a bunch of free honey every year from these guys.
Oh, that's awesome.
There we go.
Let's check it out.
So yeah, like right here is where Pete died, with his hand on that doorknob. He reached out, grabbed the doorknob, dropped dead. Still nice and solid in here. Good American hardwood floors, you know. But I mean, you can see the whole floor is buckled. Lex's brother used to come in here and play cops when he was a kid, because he had his own guns when he was a kid, so there's just bullet holes everywhere. If you dig in this stuff, there's shells all over the floor. There's some right here.
We're gonna go upstairs. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
you can see he took out this door with a 12 gauge.
nice. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Watch your step here, man. We got a giant pit. Lots of nails sticking straight up.
Yeah, those basement stairs are going down.
Let's go check it out. Looks safe.
Yeah, we should be able to get up here already.
Right here, it's really loose. Do not step there. Let me move out of your way. Yeah, there you go. You're good. Yeah, that's ready to go.
Bathroom fixtures. Something that was on the porcelain sink.
Oh, there's an attic too.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been up in the attic before. That's over here. The last time I was up here, I was walking around up here, but this is deteriorating quickly.
Yep.
But
Raccoons were living up here.
yeah, this would have made a cool room. Like if this was a viable house still, you know, these
Quality.
attic rooms are so cool to
Yeah.
finish, you know.
Yeah, these are quality board. Like they don't make them like that anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just look how long it's standing up. Look at all these boards are, you know, still at least half good, and they've just been totally exposed for how long.
Yep. Yeah, this is a nice big room up here. Maybe we'll get lucky and find a coin or something before I go back to Colorado. If not, it's totally already an awesome adventure up here. As long as I don't fall through this floor, we'll be good to go. I better go down right here.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, shotgun shell. Remington, it's a 12 gauge. Remington Express, 12 gauge. Somebody could probably date that for us. We're getting closer and closer to the house itself, and the targets are getting better and better. This one here.
I found me a ring.
Oh wow, cool.
A chain link.
Awesome. And I found this. It's like half of a, what is that, a little container?
I think it is. I want to say that I got one of those in my garage. A little triangle or diamond-shaped container like that.
There's more targets in here. All right, closer and closer we get to the house, the better the targets. I just found, you can go ahead and pop that open if you want. There it is.
This is what ignition keys on Model Ts looked like, as far as I know. They had this octagon shaped head. It might have been very common back in the days, so I wouldn't guarantee that this is a Model T key, but that very well may be.
Wow.
We'll have to look at what
it says and everything.
What it says. That's a cool little find.
We're getting there. That coin is here somewhere.
This is pretty close.
Yeah, that's equally as cool, I think. All right, so here's everything we found from this home site. We found a few interesting things. This is a piece of horse tack right there. This is where the bar would go through. This would have the ring, and you'd be able to tie stuff through it. I don't know what it's called. Some random pieces of wire.
This might be an old rusted sickle blade, possibly.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, it's got a rivet right there where this is the part that goes past a finger and cuts the grass.
Yeah.
For sickling.
Here we have two shotgun shells. We have a 20 gauge and a 12 gauge. Both Remington. One's a high brass. This one's a paper shell. Right here.
Yeah, it's this one. Yeah, you can still see the paper on it.
Yep. So that's like, 1940s or older, 50s or older. But we still found a lot of cool stuff, man. This was a lot of fun. I think the best thing we found here was probably the key. This is the thing I'm bringing back with me to Colorado for my North Dakota keep.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to it.
I think I'm going to keep that one. I don't know what it is. I'll clean it up and I'll let you guys know on the screen exactly what it is if I can identify it. But yeah, that was pretty good. We got a 25-06 shell right there. I thought it was a 30-06, but you can see this is a little bit thinner. And then Jared pointed out it's a 25-06. Well, Jared, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you inviting me up here, dude.
No problem, anytime.
That was awesome, man. We found so much stuff. That bucket is like, that's got to weigh 100 pounds, easy. I mean, that thing, we got a lot of metal.
It's not even a whole bucket.
Yeah, and he's got stuff all stacked up here. We cleaned out that field, that's for sure.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of cool relics as well. We didn't get any coins, but Jared actually gave me a silver quarter, so I have a North Dakota coin, even though we didn't find any in the ground. That's fine. So thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it.
It's a non-dug example.
It's a it's mint. And then also, you'll see Jared again, because we're going to be doing a Minnesota episode, panning for some gold in Minnesota. There is gold in Minnesota, so stay tuned for that episode. Make sure you subscribe for that. And yeah, that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching.
Greetings from North Dakota, and we'll see you guys later.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching my video. It's much appreciated. I did notice that 73% of my viewers aren't even subscribers. So if you would like to make sure you don't miss any of my future videos, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.